You know, this little device pretty much runs our entire lives, doesn't it? We use it from the second we wake up till the moment we go to sleep. But have you ever actually stopped to think about what's going on inside? Well, today we're going to do a virtual teardown and find out.
It really does feel like magic. A tap here, a swipe there, and bam, the entire world is right at your fingertips. But here's the thing, it's not magic at all. It's just some seriously brilliant engineering. And today, we're going to pull back that curtain and see exactly how it all works.
So, here's our game plan. First up, we'll figure out what actually makes a phone smart. Then, we're diving deep into its brain and memory. After that, we'll look at its senses, the screen and camera, followed by the engine room, its battery and software. And we'll wrap it all up by looking at how it talks to the world. Let's get into it.
Okay, so first things first. What really elevates a simple mobile phone into a smartphone? Honestly, the answer is pretty simple. It's a full-blown computer that just so happens to fit right in your pocket.
You see, what really sets it apart is just how versatile it is. It's not just for making calls anymore, right? The real power comes from being able to run all those apps, connect to the internet at lightning speed, and process just massive amounts of information. That's what turns it from a simple phone into a tool for, well, just about everything.
All right, let's peek under the hood at the absolute core of the device. We're talking about the brains of the operation now. This is where all the thinking actually happens.
Right at the heart of it all is the Central Processing Unit, or the CPU. And you can think of it exactly like a brain. Every single tap, every swipe, every command you give it gets processed right here. Its speed, which is measured in gigahertz, literally determines how fast it can think. That's why newer phones just feel so much snappier. So how in the world can your phone juggle so many things at once? Well, the secret is something called multi-core processors. It's kind of like having several little brains all working in parallel. That's why you can listen to a podcast, follow map directions, and get text notifications all at the exact same time without your phone even breaking a sweat.
Now, a lot of people mix up memory and storage, but they do two totally different things. Think of RAM as your phone's short-term memory, or maybe like its desk. It's the active workspace where it's running your open apps. Storage, on the other hand, that's like a filing cabinet. It's the permanent home for your photos, your videos, and your apps, and that data stays put even when you turn the phone off. All right, so we've covered the brains. Now let's talk about how the phone sees and feels the world, and, of course, how you interact with it. Let's get into its senses.
The screen is basically your window into this whole digital world. And there are too many technologies running the show. OLED screens, which you find on most high-end phones, can light up every single pixel individually. This is what gives you those incredibly deep, true blacks and those really punchy, vibrant colors. LCDs, on the other hand, use one single backlight for the whole screen. It's more cost-effective, but it just can't quite match that level of contrast.
So, how does your phone actually feel your touch? It's not pressure, it's actually electricity. Your finger disrupts a very subtle electrical field that's on the screen's surface. The phone's processor then instantly calculates where that disruption happened and registers it as a tap or a swipe. It's incredibly fast and super precise.
Next up is the camera. And let's be honest, it's one of the biggest selling points of any modern phone. It is frankly astonishing how much imaging power they can pack into such a tiny space.
You know, taking a photo is really a beautiful dance between hardware and software. Light comes in and hits a sensor, which turns it into digital data. But the real wow factor, the secret sauce, is something called computational photography. The phone's software uses these powerful algorithms to process all that data, adjusting the light, sharpening details, blurring the background, all in the blink of an eye. That's how your phone takes pictures that can rival professional cameras. So we've got the brains and the senses covered, but what keeps the whole thing running? Let's take a look at the engine room, the battery that provides the juice, and the software that brings it all to life.
Every single component we've talked about so far is powered by this one thing, the lithium-ion battery. It is truly the unsung hero of your device, designed to be super compact, rechargeable, and hold just enough energy to get you through the entire day.
Of course, how you use your phone makes a huge difference. Playing a game will drain that battery way faster than just sending a text. Your phone software is constantly working behind the scenes to manage all that power, sometimes even slowing down performance on older devices just to squeeze out every last drop of juice.
You know, this quote really says it all. You can have the most powerful processor and the most beautiful screen in the world, but without the operating system, or OS, none of it would do anything at all. It'd just be a paperweight.
Essentially, the OS is the master controller. It's the core software that's telling all the hardware what to do and when to do it. Think of it like the bridge between you and all those physical components, letting you launch your apps, change settings, and actually use your phone.
And in the smartphone world, the whole OS landscape is pretty much dominated by two major players. You've got Google's Android and Apple's iOS. Now, while they look and feel different, they both do the same fundamental job, managing all the phone's resources.
Okay, we're on to our last section. How does this self-contained little computer connect to the rest of the world? Well, it does it through a whole array of invisible radios and sensors.
It is amazing how many different radios are crammed inside your phone. You got Wi-Fi for your home internet, 5G for data when you're on the go, Bluetooth for your headphones, NFC for all those tap-to-pay systems, and of course, GPS for navigation. Each one is a dedicated communicator built for a very specific job.
And it doesn't even stop with the radios. Your phone is also chock full of other tiny sensors. The accelerometer is what knows when you rotate the screen from vertical to horizontal, and the gyroscope helps make things like augmented reality possible. They're all constantly feeding information to the processor to make your experience feel completely seamless. So, as we wrap things up here, the biggest takeaway is this. A smartphone isn't just one piece of technology. It's this incredibly complex ecosystem. It's a finely tuned symphony of specialized hardware components, all being conducted by ridiculously sophisticated software, all working together in perfect harmony every single second you use it.
I mean, think about it. From a simple device for making calls to a pocket-sized supercomputer, the evolution has been absolutely staggering. It really makes you wonder, with technology advancing this fast, what seemingly impossible magic will be totally standard in the phones of tomorrow? Thanks for tuning in.